Hi, I'm Nia, and I'm here with Darkest Hour. How are you guys?
We are awesome.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun tonight. Great show.
Yeah,
How was it?
We just rocked Sofia for the first time ever in our 21-year existence, and it was amazing. I've heard a lot from some of my friends who are from here about how the crowds can be and the whole vibe, and it was awesome. So you're watching the post-game wrap-up with Aaron Deal and Schleibaum right now.
How are you feeling?
I feel great. I had a lot of fun tonight. Everybody seemed super cool, and you can't really ask for more.
We've been drinking ever since.
Doesn't look so.
Oh yeah, well we're experienced alcoholics. So when we were pulled to do this interview post-show, they pulled the two true OG alcoholics who could actually pull this off.
Awesome. Can you explain the change in your self-titled album, going softer to going back to a little bit rougher road?
Sure,
Yeah.
I'll let Aaron handle that one. I won't throw you under the bus. I'll take this one. He can. Look, every album we try to make it different. I know there is a philosophy that you want to kind of find something that people like and stick with it, but as artists, that's not really like where we see ourselves creatively. We like react to each album, and so in a lot of ways, this album is a reaction to that album, because it is heavy. Well, mainly because when we moved to Sumerian Records, we wanted to write kind of a more, I guess, all-inclusive album, something that wasn't as aggressive. I mean, some of those songs, even though they have singing in it, they're melodic, they're still very aggressive, like, for a lot of people. And the idea was just to try to see if we could broaden who likes Darkest Hour. At the same time, what it did is it sort of opened up to what the idea of a Darkest Hour song is. And I think that, in a lot of ways, made people who like the old style feel abandoned, because now a Darkest Hour song could be anything. You know, before it was a specific style of melodic thrash, death metal kind of thing melded with punk, and then now it's like a ballad with a girl singing a radio rock song, you know? But I think we really needed to do that. It was our 8th album, and I don't think if we hadn't tried something like that, it would be true to how creative and musical everybody is. So on this album, having got that out of our system, we kind of were able to circle back, and now having done that album together, communicate as a band, and just when we went into this, we wanted it to be, you know, the best possible Darkest Hour album. And once the band internalized what that meant, we decided what that was, you know? And so that's what you get. And also, every album is a combination of the people around you. So this time, it wasn't Sumerian Records, it was crowdfunded on the internet, Kurt Ballou from Converge, and us. Yeah. That's it. And so being able to control everything that way also gives you a very different album. And I personally love the self-titled album, and I know that there are fans that do, and there's no disrespect to them. I think you can like all the albums, and I think you can like one the best, or I think you can just like one. Or even just one song, right? You know, I mean, we're honored that anyone is connected to the music, but we're also excited that so many people have responded well to this sort of return to our original sound, I guess. That's what we want to say.
Do you think the fans' reaction is good?
Well, I would say that the internet's reaction is good. I would say that the fans' reaction to the last album was pretty good too, but this time it's more kind of like obvious and echoed everywhere, you know? So
everybody try to get I don't give a fuck.
So this is the post-game wrap-up, and
everybody's doing good.
And some people are drunk, but it's all good. Zip it.
Yeah,
We're doing an interview.
This is backstage at a rock concert.
Yeah, exactly.
What made you go DIY with the album and doing it self-published?
Again, you know, after we tried an experiment with the last record, with the self-titled record, and again, you know, like in doing a response to that, we wanted to try something completely different and get in touch with the people that really love the band and do something the way that we wanted to do and have a way to communicate with people so directly like that. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it was also a reaction to the amount of control we had on the last album.
Yeah.
And also...
Does that mean you didn't have it, or?
No, it just was a way for us to take the entire control of everything and, in a strange sense, build something with some of our fans in a way we never had. And having run most the kind of behind-the-scenes internet stuff for the crowdfund, I want to say that, like, at first we were definitely a little bit skeptical, but now it really has been a unique way to get direct to people. Like, I communicate with people all on the internet, all directly about what's happening with their orders or this or that or the packages or all the questions. And then when we were doing the crowdfunding, people's names and addresses would pop up right away as they purchased it, and they became real people to me, you know? So one other thing that we built in, though, was after a while we realized we couldn't do it by ourselves, and that's why we sort of teamed up with Southern Lord Records, who has done a great job of helping us take a really great album we created and present it to the world as it should be, you know, in the correct avenue, which we're thankful for because it was a lot of work to undertake to do this DIY thing.
yeah.
Did Chris help you on working with your album?
Yes, actually, another unique thing we tried this time was we've kept in touch with Chris, one of our ex-writing guitar members, and always kind of just bounced off riff ideas or whatever. And actually, it was our other guitar player, Mike Lone Star, who was really like, you know, hey, we should like open this up to some other options, and you know, maybe bring Chris in and just jam with them. And so we didn't want to have a bunch of demos he'd had living around or a bunch of stuff that existed before. We wanted it to be new stuff. So Chris came over to my house. Mike actually flew from Texas. We all hung out together. We wrote a bunch of ideas, and then John and everybody else sifted through it and decided what everybody liked, and then we reinterpreted it, re-jammed it, and sort of made a Darkest Hour song with a third guitar player. And then once we did it a few times, then we realized we could stretch it even further and maybe bring him to play on the album a little bit. And then once we did that, we decided, well, we could have a few other guest players. And then when you hear it all together, it's sort of like a chorus of guitar players. And from the guy who was the originator of all of the riffs in the beginning, it's kind of cool to actually see your band grow to be able to do that. Because I've seen a lot of people who have bands where there's one distinctive writer, and it's either hard for that person to give it up or impossible for them to figure out how to interject other people with it. And so one of the special things about this album and the band, and especially about this album, is that you have so many different guitar voices. But my friend Tommy from the band Prong was telling me he loves the album because there's every different style of metal guitar playing. Sweep picking, you know, bluesy, pentatonic shit, weird modal stuff, strange time signatures, and I think that's what we were getting for, you know. And that's and so we were happy to have Chris's help and creating those songs. And the songs that he worked on are None of This Is the Truth, the last song, which is Beneath It Sleeps, and the kind of slow doomy jam, Enter Oblivion, yeah. And it's cool because I think those songs also, you wouldn't necessarily know that he had voice in them, because he's melded so well into the sound of the band.
The local scene. What makes it strong scene?
Well, I don't want to dictate the whole conversation. You want to? I can answer one, but
No, but you.
What makes a strong scene? I don't know. I think you got this one better.
Oh, like from the crowd or something?
No.
What makes a scene strong is like people that love music that go to shows and good bands.
But not just people that go to shows. It's also people that put in hard work, making shows happen, losing shows on money, like working their asses off at a club all the time, like arguing with the neighbors in other businesses because they don't want shows. Like a strong scene is based on people coming, but what I think makes it strong is a combination of that and other people who give blood to it by sacrificing their time and their money for this stupid thing that's just to stand there and watch some bands, you know? And a lot of people can't understand what it is, why it is, but it is special, and the people that get addicted to it like we have know why it's special and are willing to sacrifice. So, I mean, it takes the sacrifice of the fans to pay, to commit their time to come and to pay attention to what's happening. The people who are promoting the shows, the people doing the shows, it takes sacrifice from all those people.
Right.
And I think that's what makes a strong scene, when you have people doing that out of joy,
Right.
not out of sense of duty or something.
Right.
And both of us do this now because we were kids that went to shows like that.
Yeah. We were kids that went to shows that were put on by other kids.
Yeah.
That band showed up. There's no contract. There was nothing professional. When I first started going to hardcore punk shows in the 90s in America, it was like complete lawlessness. And now it's like a mini industry. It's a mini rock and roll industry. And so I think becoming from that background kind of shaped our idea of what a scene is. And Washington, D.C. has an infamous punk scene, and it's a really cool place. It's a really special place, and I think, you know, gathering from what I've met from people out here, Sofia's and the whole country in general has that.
Serbia.
And I think, yeah, I think what's special about these countries, they exist in these pockets because you don't have as much opportunity to see these bands all the time. So you value that experience, and it shows through in every single thing. The energy of the crowd, the size of the crowd, their excitement. And I will say also, there's something about the culture that allows people to be friendly even if they're in a second language or talking to a rock star. People are just friendly, man. And this acts like a funnel too, because this means that only the dedicated, true lovers of the shit get involved in this way, making it a special place, almost protected. I don't know if I'm gonna say it's better, because I think that I believe in the music that I believe in the want to have music change everyone's lives. So I don't know if I'm one who wants to keep this special magic medicine hidden in a corner, but it is cool when you see it in action.
Do you think with the new drummer, the band came to life?
Well,
No.
I mean, come on, the band was to life
of.
with Ryan.
Kind of.
I would say
A little.
again. Well, here's what I will say. Yes, I no disrespect to Ryan, but Travis was the missing puzzle because he represents something we sorely lacked, which is, it's one word and it's called discipline, you know? And Travis exudes that. He is committed to that in every way, and so it shows through in like the things he's into, working out, eating, you know, healthy, and drums and music. And I mean, it is who he is. And so when you interject a person around like that and you see how talented he is, then all of a sudden you get kind of encouraged to want to be, to want to understand why is he that good. And then once you start learning why, which is that he has the discipline to take things the certain steps they need to go to make something really perfect. And once you start seeing that you can copy those ideas in your own playing, and your own playing gets better, then you're addicted. There's no question about it. And that person has changed your life forever. And Travis has done that for us. You can see old videos of the band with the old drummers. Like he completely revolutionized the way the guitars and the vocals sounded without even knowing he was going to do that. And then when you step into the creative realm, it's really even hard to dig out how deep he's infected everyone with his awesomeness, because like he has gotten to the point where the creative process sort of revolves in a lot of ways around things we've learned with him. And I think that just truly shows through on this album, because on this album, unlike the last album, a lot of his ideas weren't getting shot down the same way. There were definitely things that were out there for me that I fought against, but in the end, he was able to win and have more of his voice come through. And I think that it shows in the album, obviously. Also, in conclusion, I'll just say that live, it's fucking even, it's unmatchable,
So do you remember the gig in Belgrade in Serbia, and would you come again?
Well, yeah, because I've been reminded about it. But and of course, you weren't there.
No, I wasn't
So
there.
now we definitely have to go because we need to bring the beer. But we love this part of the world, and we've been coming not to these cities, but almost to them for over 15 years. So traveling and being able to come to places like this as an American and just kind of say, hey, we are crazy Americans, but we're a different type of crazy American, and we don't really believe in a lot of things that the government stands for, but we live there, and now we're here. Just in the same way a lot of people from these places don't believe the things that their governments say, and I think it's important to knock down those barriers, and music is an easy way to get everybody in the door, and then just sort of trying to meet people, spread that idea, because it's really an important idea now more than ever, based on what's happening with the world. Darkest Hour needs to play there, and they also need to play everywhere in Europe. We need to play in, Russia. We need to play everywhere that the TV and the internet and everybody where we live says we shouldn't. Because heavy metal, this type of music is the first. We're the commandos for real ideological change, because we come in, we spread an ideas that are a little different, they're counterculture, but heavy metal show is a very inclusive place most of the time, and so it's different than politics, and it can have that force. So I think that's why that you're going to see us play there. You're going to see us play all over Eastern Europe and Western Europe.